shit, finally. God, do you know how many times I tried freaking calling? I used an alternative phone number and everything like that. I freaking was like, just don't get me started on this. I tried calling in, and like, freaking, apparently, freaking, and maybe the flat earth is true. Maybe the flat earth is true. You know, because freaking all of a sudden, our communications were not lining up. Or maybe it's the powers that be that just, there's too much truth being spoken on this channel right now within the audience itself, the chat. And let me give a shout out to Wolco. WOLCO and some numbers. Hey, what's up, brother? Friggin', thanks for taking the sound out of my vagina. But, okay, so first and foremost, frickin', let me ask you something, sir.
Go.
I need some pharmaceutical remedies.
Okay.
I don't trust the products that I'm getting from my dispensaries. And I'm thinking that it's better for me to get a gram of marijuana and making tea out of it. What is the best way to extract it? Because the thing is, I understand that you can't just eat the marijuana because it has to go through a heating process to, there's a certain chemical reaction that goes through.
I've never successfully had tea. Now, one of the things that I've done in the past that I've done successfully is I've taken gelatin capsules, like empty gelatin capsules, and I've heated the marijuana up at like 275 degrees.
How'd you do that? How'd you heat it up?
I put it on a pan and put it in the oven.
So you basically did it's not like fried rice or something like that, but you just put it on a freaking low temperature skillet.
Yeah, or I put it on a baking sheet. I put it on a baking sheet, and I put it in the oven for 275, and for like 10 minutes, and then I just put it in the capsules and eat it.
See, because okay, so let me tell you about the experiment that I ran, and actually, I could have done it better. Like I said, it's my experiment. I'm trying to, just try to figure this out, and I just thought that he'd be a good source for it. And the thing is that THC is now more soluble, and the thing is that we need a fatty substance in order to kind of encapsulate the hearty goodness of the herbal resources.
Yeah, well, I always make my own butter. I mean, I eat brownie. When I get up in the morning, I have a brownie. So.
Well, the thing is, pardon me for interrupting. Well, true for you too, by the way. I mean, that's fucking awesome. And I'm kind of jealous of that, to be honest with you. But the thing is, look at English tea. They use butter, fat, and milk or whatever else in their teas. And the thing is, that's part of the extraction process. You gotta put some butter in it when you make the tea. Why use coconut oil? Because that's a substitute. Because it's fatty and everything.
Yeah. Well, now, anyways, okay, listen. When I make my butter, or when I make a batch of cookies, right? With my butter, I will take the mixing cup, the Pyrex mixing cup that I melt the butter in, because I keep my butter in the freezer so it has to get melted. So I take that mixing cup, which is coated in marijuana butter, and then I make a cup of tea out of that. So you can make.
Oh, wait, hold on a second. Because you had it. When I made my first batch of cookies and stuff, I used butter, and this is when I was living in Washington. I made my butter, let it solidify, do its thing and stuff, after I boiled it out, and then I made cookie batter with it.
Yeah.
Are you saying there's an extra step in that?
Everybody makes their
I try to talk technically to people that I think can speak technically. Like, the reason why I hesitate in my speech is because I'm learning language. Everyone converses on a different wavelength, and I try to figure out that wavelength. And that's why manners are so important. And I learned that when I was interacting with the Iraqis. I was a visitor in their country, and I needed poor survivalists act like the natives, understanding the customs formalities. Don't demonstrate disrespect.
Stuff their own way. So.
Well, I'm trying to figure out the best way, essentially. Well, and the thing is, like,
can you see the chat room?
You know what? Let me stop being lazy. Let me actually go on my laptop instead of just using.
At TomFody53 says,
I think that if they had, I think they would be all over CNN and they'd be.
Everybody makes their stuff their own way. So.
Well, I'm trying to figure out the best way, essentially. Well, and the thing is, like,
can you see the chat room?
You know what? Let me stop being lazy. Let me actually go on my laptop instead of just using my phone and shit. Pardon my mouth.
It's all good. Because I can put a link to how I make my butter, you know, and I have a video on how I make the butter if you haven't seen that video. So.
No, well, what I do recall is because you're going through a lot of grief with YouTube, and a lot of your material was being suppressed. You know, suppressed. And yeah, I never got around to it and stuff. You know, and at the same time, like. Pardon me, but that's the damn thing you say. YouTube's been
horrible,
to say the least.
Yeah.
You know, and alright, so let me get on here and stuff. But no, thanks for sharing. But you know, while I look this up, like, go ahead and send a link. I'm gonna go ahead and get in the chat. I'll let you know when you know it's gonna send.
Yeah, it's right there. It's in the chat now. That's the butter.
I'll just timestamp it. I don't want to, you know, hold up the line and everything like that.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, this is how I make my butter, and it works, and it's very simple, and anybody can do it, and you just gotta, you know.
Well, the thing is, your channel's not suppressed. What's a good headline to look it up at?
Butter.
Mox butter. Got it. No, like, it's that simple, man. Like, well, that's how simple YouTube used to be.
Yeah.
Like, when I look up my own videos that are clearly defined with the headline and title of the search engine, I get a bunch of other crap before I see my stuff, and I am no one.
Yeah.
And everything I see more
Yeah, they got everybody. You gotta be somebody. You gotta have. Yeah, everybody. The big guys all get the top billing now. It's fucked up.
Yeah, and trust me, I'm not freaking trying to self-bill myself on your channel and shit. What it comes down to is, okay. So number one thing I want to I've really as a supporter of your channel, as a fan of your efforts, like a believer of your efforts,
Go ahead.
You need to do me a favor. And do your best research of this title. National Renewal. National Renewal. In fact, if you could, look that up right now and tell people what you see.
No, I can't do that right now. But I gotta go. I'll talk to you again soon. I hope. Thanks so much for calling. I'm sorry. I gotta go right now.
Well, definitely freaking National Renewal.
Okay.
Be safe, be kind, and stay strong.
Okay, you too. Thanks for calling. All right. So listen, I gotta play a video for you guys. What happened to my mic? Happening. Anyways, I'm going to play a clip for you guys. I want you guys to see this one. This one I think is kind of important. So here we go.
Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin reportedly wants to wait until after the 2020 election to reveal how much the U.S. Secret Service spends when President Donald Trump and his family travel. Mnuchin is negotiating with senators on a bill that would put the Secret Service back under the control of his department, where it was housed for decades until the Department of Homeland Security assumed control in 2003. Anonymous sources told the Washington Post Mnuchin isn't seeing eye to eye with Democrats, who want the Secret Service to disclose presidential travel costs within 120 days after the bill is passed. But the Post says Mnuchin is on board with requiring the Secret Service to report those numbers after the election in November. The Treasury Department confirmed that Mnuchin is working with lawmakers on the legislation, but didn't comment on the reported dispute.
I'm back. All right. So let's see. And thanks to Matt for calling. Sorry, I had to fucking cut you short, man. I was trying to get something to happen. Is it muted again? Is it muted? It's not muted. I can see mic working. Sorry about that if Matt's call didn't get through. If anybody else wants to call, I have the Do Not Disturb turned off, so you can call now. And otherwise, those are my clips for today. Actually, I have one more clip. It was Twitter banning Venezuelan politicians. If you guys want to see that one, I have that clip. We'll play that. We can play that right now, as long as I got it lined up, huh? That's clip number 3.
Twitter was met with sharp criticism from Venezuelan officials Tuesday after it suspended more than a dozen accounts associated with the country's government institutions. Twitter didn't announce the move, but on Wednesday said in a statement that it has proactive systems that detect platform manipulations. It also said that users can appeal the suspensions if they believe it's an error. The accounts consist of journalists, political leaders, and military branches, including the Army, Navy, and National Guard. A few of the accounts were later restored. In a similar move last year, Twitter removed nearly 2,000 Venezuelan accounts it says were part of a state-backed propaganda campaign. It initially pinned the campaign on Russia's Internet Research Agency, but later said the campaign was likely based out of Venezuela.